Hello, this is Lindsay Hager. I am the Assistant Teaching Director for the Newaygo Evening Class of Community Bible Study, and I want to go through with you a few virtual ideas as we move into a new delivery system and communication system for our class structure. So I know a lot of you have experienced working at home because of the COVID pandemic and have worked and held meetings virtually, and some of you are teachers and dealing with remote learning. So a lot of us have some experience in this already. There are a few resources that have been put out by Community Bible Study that I want to go through with you, and I will share these as we have them available. But I guess the first thing to remember is there are a lot of emotions that people have and opinions about going virtual. This has been a major decision by the Community Bible Study organization on a national level, and whether you agree or disagree, that has been what is decided. So we're going to go with that. We're asking the Lord to help us work through it and to be creative and just to see how He's going to use it to reach people that we may have not reached before. Within the guardrails of the 5 essentials of Community Bible Study, prayerfully consider with the servants team how to make the study of John impact your community in the greatest way possible. And I think that's the most important thing. Just pray that the Lord will use this technology, use this methodology to impact our community and to allow us to study John. I want all of us to be excited that we get to study John through a virtual process, and it's going to be good, it's going to be fun, and as leaders, we're going to facilitate that for our participants. So I hope you have that good attitude. That's the first thing, and that you have the attitude of prayer along with the servants team to see how we're going to make this the very best that we can. A couple of verses that Community Bible Study has shared, which I thought were really good. The first one is in Isaiah. It says, "Stop dwelling on the past. Don't even remember these former things. I am doing something brand new, something unheard of. Even now it sprouts and grows and matures. Don't you perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and open up flowing streams in the desert." I thought that was an excellent verse there, Isaiah 43, 18 and 19, if you want to look that one up. Another one, a couple of verses in Hebrews 10, 23 through 25 says, "So now we must cling tightly to the hope that lives within us, knowing that God always keeps His promises. Discover creative ways to encourage others and to motivate them toward acts of compassion, doing beautiful works as expressions of love. This is not the time to pull away and neglect meeting together as some have formed the habit of doing, because we need each other. In fact, we should come together even more frequently, eager to encourage and urge each other onward as we anticipate that day dawning." Again, this is an excellent time for us to come together, not separate apart. Do what you can to bring your core groups together. Do what you can to bring new people in. Recruit others with technology. Let's make it an advantage to this year. We do have the Fisher technology that's available to use for the virtual core modules. The Zoom meeting is available, and if you need additional information on that, we'll get you that soon. And so you'll be able to set up core group times that work for the best time for your group, so you can set those up on your own. Remember that they should not be recorded, so that we can protect privacy and encourage people to be open. And I think that's really important that people know that we're not recording this. So you're going to want to say that right out loud the first few meetings. We are not recording this. And your privacy is protected. From a shepherding standpoint, we've already gone through that on a different video, but especially this year, consider that many people will be isolated, lonely, and in need of personal connection. It's not the same as one-on-one meetings, but it is a personal connection. And it's good to see people, it's good to see them in their homes, and connect with them in that way. So be creative and intentional with your virtual shepherding techniques. Mix it up, and we're going to talk about some different ideas. And remember to keep praying for each one of your participants. As we get into the virtual meetings, it's important that you make sure that every participant has a functional electronic device to be able to connect to the meeting, and they have adequate bandwidth and internet access to be able to keep things live and not get stalled out. And if there is a person that is struggling with this, please let us know so that we can brainstorm on some ideas to how to make sure that their technology is functional. Sometimes there are not enough devices in a home. Kids might be using devices for homework or other things. So we want to make sure that all participants are able to connect and have the proper electronic devices to do this. A few ideas to try to mix it up a little bit with electronic virtual meetings. The school teachers that are listening to this are probably already having and using some great techniques, but if you're not in that category, you might need some suggestions as to how to keep things moving virtually. I know for my job, I have lots and lots of virtual meetings, and the ones I enjoy incorporate some of these ideas, not original to me, but some thoughts for you to consider. As you start your meeting with prayer, maybe you can go around real quickly and ask people to say something that they appreciate, something positive, something good that's happened to them that day, just to start thinking forward, thinking about getting into the Word and being positive. So maybe start with an appreciations roundtable, something like that, or something real quick that they have enjoyed, a verse or something that they've enjoyed in their personal Bible study. As you go through a meeting, maybe you want to mix up the things that are going on during your virtual meeting. Another couple little side things that might be fun. I know in my professional world, the most interesting and memorable meetings to me are where some sort of disruption happened that was unplanned. But also, whether it's a dog or some kids jumping on the couch in the background or something like that. But one thing that could be interesting for you is to have a little pet show. Everybody with a pet, to bring them to the camera, show them, introduce them. So that's always makes people smile is to see everybody's pet at home. Another thought would be bring a snack so you can share your snacks virtually, have snack time. Use the chat box during a meeting so that you can kind of mix it up a little bit. Maybe you can ask a question in the chat box and post that, and then have others respond in the chat box while others are responding verbally. Kind of mix up the technology just a little bit, assuming that people know how to do that. Have people change their background or their screen name or something like that, just to be able to express themselves a little bit differently. One example there is our daughter India works for ITS, a software company, and one of the employees had a previous career in modeling, this really studly guy. And so one of the engineers, who is not so much that way, changed his background with a picture of this model in his modeling career. And so people got a kick out of that. So it would have to be something appropriate, obviously, and maybe something humorous to change your background, just to liven things up a little bit, keep things fun. Have people use motions to make sure they're awake and involved. Have them give thumbs up or nod or no, shake their head, different things during a meeting. So you make sure people are engaged. while they're not participating verbally, they can still be engaged by nodding or commenting or something like that. Um, let's see. Make sure you as a leader know how to use the mute all function. A lot of background noise can be taken out of a meeting by the leader. So when people are ready to talk, they can unmute themselves. But if everybody is muted the rest of the time, it really saves on the disruption. So just a pointer there. Um, let's see. I think with the teachers that we have as core group leaders, we're going to depend on you to give us some more ideas to keep these core group meetings on track and lively, and make people feel special. Make sure that their answers are appreciated, that you're able to connect virtually. So we are going to ask you to help us understand how we can do better. And as you shepherd people, um, it's important that you're doing this one-on-one, and maybe it's as you're shepherding, you can do things like send people a handwritten note, something very odd and out of the ordinary in the time of virtual connectivity. Handwritten notes, possibly you can meet at a park or somewhere outdoors or something that's appropriate, and have some type of uh, an interaction that would be appropriate um, outside. Memorizing scripture, if there's some ideas, some fun ideas as you're trying to memorize scripture together, maybe you can come up with songs or motions or a rap type of a thing. Maybe you can have a drawing for those in attendance or those who come up with the best song or rap or motion to a Bible verse. Just some other ideas as you move forward in trying to get people to participate in these virtual meetings. Uh, Again, we want to embrace this. We want to use it, come up with creative ideas on how to connect with people in their homes through our virtual technology. So we appreciate your feedback. We appreciate any suggestions that you have, and any resources that come through Community Bible Study. We'll be sure to pass those on. Thank you. Have a great year.